Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Isabel, the Starlight Witch. Today we are going to be doing the Mid-Year Tarot Tag by Chanel at Chanel Days. I've seen this tag going around for a few years, but this is my first time joining in and this is going to be a lot of fun. So let's get started. Prompt number 1. The deck you've used the most so far. So for me this year, it has been this duo. The Tarot of the Mystical Moments combined, just a second, with the Love Who You Are Oracle. This was a pairing that I used for the whole of Taurus season, and it pairs beautifully. Not just, the looks, the aesthetics, but also the messages. It's just a very marvelous pairing. Both of these decks are by US Games. I'm pretty sure that everyone has seen and probably has the Tarot of the Mystical Moments. But this one is by Angie Solens, and the art is by Silas Tobal. And it is just beautiful. Sorry if you can hear that airplane, but it's just really hot in the UK. And I kind of need to have my window open and my fan on, um, just so I can function. Okay, so I'm very sorry. But yeah, back to the decks. These are just beautiful. Super, super beautiful. Yeah, this one is an artsy digital collage type of deck. Really beautiful. And this one is a similar style one. I'm pretty sure that it uses some public domain images because I've seen some of them in other things, like this fabric that I bought to make a bag for it. When I saw this fabric, I was like, it is perfect for that deck, and that is because some of these birds, some of these pictures are actually in images on the oracle. But I do find, see, look at this. It's the exact same image, but on the other direction. So I'm pretty sure that they used some images in the public domain, or perhaps stock images, but it is just very beautiful. And it does have really good messages. I mean, I love a good guidebook by Angie Solens, but this particular oracle is all about learning to love yourself and being kind to yourself, and just it is really, really nice to work with when you need a pick me up, when you need to work on your self esteem and things like that. It will call you out. It's not all love and light. It does have a number of cards that call you out. So it's a good one, I promise. And this is a perfect pairing. It's just so good. So, so good. So if this is your style, if you have both of these decks, I highly recommend using them together, because they are wonderful with each other. One more. There it is. Look at those messages. The Two of Cups with grow belonging. It's just so nice. Okay, so these are my most used cards, the Tarot of Mystical Moments and the Love Who You Are Oracle. Prompt number 2, a new deck that came into your collection. And that is the Dreaming Waves Oracle. A 60 card deck and art by Nawan Yunhasidi. Ugh, I'm so sorry if I pronounced that terribly, which I'm sure I did, but oops. This is a Kickstarter deck. I have number 166. Really pretty. Um, we've all seen um, the Healing Waves Tarot, which sadly I do not have. I have wanted it since I first saw it, but the few people that sell genuine copies of it, they're pretty much asking for at least half a month worth of rent for it. And as much as I love it, at this point in my life, I cannot afford something like that. So I'm still, in search of it someday when I can find one for a reasonable price. But for now, this beautiful oracle will have to do. I jumped on this Kickstarter as soon as it came up, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's just everything that I love about the healing waves is here as well. So I'm very, very happy that at least I get to have this oracle. And it has really nice keywords. The production quality is fantastic, and it was delivered um, pretty quickly in comparison to most Kickstarters. So, yeah, this is a beautiful one that I love to have. It's the Dreaming Waves Oracle. Okay, prompt number 3, a deck that could be better. For me, that is going to be the Victorian Fairy Tarot. I'm pretty sure that this doesn't come as a surprise. I've seen it several times in the videos of many people, but this was such a letdown for me. It was a huge disappointment. Um, the original version of this deck, the edition by Llewellyn, was already out of print by the time that I started reading tarot. So it was impossible for me to get a copy of this deck. To get a copy of this deck at all. So when I saw that it was being released as an indie deck through a Kickstarter, I couldn't jump on it fast enough. In fact, this was the very first deck that I got through Kickstarter since I started reading tarot. I was very eagerly waiting for its release, and it not only took an unusually long time to be delivered, but the quality of the deck and the way that everything was made is just not what should have been. I'm not sure exactly how they went about the redesign of this deck, but all the images have been treated, the colors have been changed, and they have a slightly yellowish tint to them, especially in comparison with the original. So the colors are all different and it's not great. They changed the font, which is not terrible, but in many cards, like this one over here, it can be very hard to read, especially in person. Um, it doesn't have a good contrast with the background, with the areas where they put it, and it gets lost in many of the images. In others, it's pretty clear, pretty easy to see. It's very pretty, but it can be very hard to read on some cards. Then you have the fact that many of these cards are not in great resolution. I'm not sure how they went about this, but this deck came with a mini and other rewards on a huge box, beautiful box. Um, and that box has the image on the full card, and it's actually in really great resolution. It's really pretty. So that leads me to believe that the problem was with whatever software they used to add the fonts on the cards and save those files, but the images on these cards, especially when you see them in person, are a bit blurry. And that bothers me. I've talked about this before, but just in case this is your first time in my channel, I am a designer by trade. So I did spend a long time and a lot of effort, with my career dealing with these kind of things. So even though I really wish it wouldn't bother me, it does. It bothers me a great deal. So yeah, it is really, really hard for me to look past some of these things, and it shouldn't have been like that. This Kickstarter was super funded. Like, I think it was more than 500%. It was like 800% funded. It was loads of people like me wanted to have this deck, and it was supported by so many people. So this should have been much better done than it was. That's all I'm going to say. They must have had the resources because it was so super funded. The card stock, not great. My cards are already warping, and they came actually warped. I barely used it, and you can see that the gilding already has some blemishes here and there. And I have barely used this. So yeah, I'm just incredibly disappointed. I feel like the only things that were really the quality that should have been were the outer box, the really big box, and the guidebook, which is beautiful. It really is. And you also have details like these. Um, the title here is not the easiest to read either. There is no design on the boxes, neither on the full size or the mini, on the sides, on the bottom, like nothing, just the cover. And this to me is a huge waste of real estate when it comes to the packaging, to the design. They could have done so much more um, with all of this. And I really wish that, you know, since it took 2 years for those decks to be produced and delivered, that they would have taken the time to make it better, to do those things. You know, I know that they had a lot of issues with their printers and stuff like that, which is understandable. But yeah, I just feel like there's more that could have and should have been done. But we're gonna leave it there. Prompt number 4. The deck you're currently using. Um, I am currently using a trio, um, which I will talk about in my July favorites. But this is the Mermaid Tarot by Lisa Robertson and published by Llewellyn. It's one of my favorites and I really adore it. This is the Whispers of the Ocean Oracle by Angela Hartfield and published by Blue Angel, I believe. And in my not so humble opinion, these two are a match made in heaven. They're made for each other, they're perfect. And this is the Sea Soul Journeys Oracle, I think it's called. And I also cannot remember exactly who the publisher is, but it is just a beautiful photographic uh, ocean deck. It has like 4 different suits, and they all have different images in the back, and it's just beautiful. This combination here, this trio, is pure magic, and I'm really enjoying my time with it. I'll be yapping a lot about it on my July favorites, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that the best part of summer, unless you can actually go to the beach, is to pull out the mermaid and see themed decks to work with. Um, Prompt number 5. The biggest surprise. Um, for me this year, it has to be the You Are Here Oracle. This is a 44 card oracle deck by Monica Ann. It's an indie deck. I got it last year. Yeah, I got it last year during a Kickstarter by a different oracle. No, it was a Kickstarter for a different oracle by the same author. Sorry, English is not my first language. Um, but she had a few leftovers of this deck, and I was lucky enough to grab one. And I did work with it during the month of February. I can't remember. Okay, it was very early. It was very early this year. This is a collage deck, a bit modern, very celestial. Um, it's really cool. And usually collage decks are not my thing, but this is very fantastical on its design, on its theme. I mean, look at this card, it's one of my favorites. And the collages are beautifully done. It has a title, it has like a key phrase, and then it has 3 different keywords on each card. And I find that it is very accurate and very, very nice to work with. I really enjoyed it. It has been a huge surprise for me, and I already cannot wait to work with it again. It's wonderful. Let me show you just a few more. Yeah, it's just beautiful. And actually, let me show you a little pairing, because we have the next prompt, which is Deck Crush. And this is another indie deck that I really love. It's called the Midnight City Tarot. The Fool's Journey Through the City That Never Sleeps. As you can see, it has images of New York. It was created by Jackie Franco. I'm sure that's her name. But yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful indie deck. Gorgeous quality. It's all sort of meant to be like a dream. So the people in the deck do not have faces, they're all like black little blobs. See, they do not have any faces. So this is sort of meant to be like a dreamscape, but it is beautiful. It's very colorful. It has all of my favorite colors um, in sort of neon tones, and it's just beautiful. The titles are meant to look like um, the subway thingies in New York. This is the inside of the box. And I have been obsessed with the city of New York for many, many years. So once I saw this deck, I knew that I had to get it. And this is the tarot that I worked with and paired with the You Are Here Oracle. And it was absolutely fantastic to work with these two. So let me put them side by side for you to see. Sorry, I have very little space and a big mess in here. So let's show you how they look together. And even though the art styles on these are completely different from one another, you have a photography collage one and a completely illustrated one. The color palettes are just beautiful. Look at these. The Ace of Cups with Feel of Flow. Let go of expectations and control. It it's just an amazing it's just an amazing um, combination. They talk to each other beautifully. They gave me amazing readings, amazing messages, and it was just it was just a pleasure to work with them and to work with them together. I can tell that this is a pairing that I'm gonna come back to in the future. And yeah, it's just cool. It's wonderful. So, yep, that is my biggest surprise. The You Are Here Oracle, and my deck crush, the Midnight City Tarot. Prompt number 7. A favorite single tarot card from a deck. And that is going to be from the Tarot Grand Looks. I seem to have put mine in order, back in order for some reason. But I really, really love this Ten of Cups from the Tarot Grand Looks by Cito Marchetti. His work is absolutely beautiful. I wasn't necessarily a big fan before, but after I saw this particular card, it totally made me get the deck. I mean, usually you get a whole family in front of a rainbow and things like that, but these feels like a real scene, like something that could totally happen in real life, more than the utterly idealistic version of life. This is something, I don't know, real and beautiful and attainable. And for those that don't want to have children or don't have any children yet, this is just a beautiful representation, um, of family. I am of the opinion, maybe a little unpopular, that you don't need to have children to have a family. A couple is a family, a single person and their pets is a family, um, a person and their friends is a family. You don't need to have children to have a family, right? So this is just a beautiful representation of it. You have a couple and their fur baby, and I love cats. I have two. So this card is just, it's just beautiful. And it was the entire reason why I bought this deck. I do want to get another Cheeto deck, the newest one, the Marchetti Tarot, because I've seen walkthroughs of that deck, and it has to be his best yet. It has to be the best of his decks. The art is just, it's better than all of his other decks. It really is. So I will be getting that eventually, but this is my Cheeto deck so far, and that card is just beautiful. So prompt number 8, a deck that makes you happy. And that has to be the Witchy Magic Tarot. This is a Marine made me do it. I do have a love of fairy tales and a mini collection of fairy tale decks. I think I might make a video about that sometime soon. But, I was trying before to be a more reasonable person and telling myself I don't need every fairy tale deck that there is out there. Um, I have a lot of very cute fairy tale tarots with somewhat similar art styles, but this was just, I couldn't stop thinking about it. And Maureen kept using it on her pick a pile card readings and things like that. So I kept seeing it and I was like, okay, I think it's time to admit defeat and just get the deck, because I just wasn't able to stop thinking about it. So yeah, this deck is gorgeous. The illustration style is a little reminiscent of Disney, I think. And it's fantastical. It has knights flying on pegacorns. It has princesses and witches and mermaids and merman. I mean, come on. Look at this King of Cups. Can you even? Like, honestly. Look at these lovers. This is just everything. It really is. And it has these holographic foil edges. Look at this witch. I mean, yes, this deck makes me happy. I love using it. It has an amazing linen finish to it, bright colors, gorgeous art. It's just, there's nothing about this deck that I don't like. And I just love using it. I really love just playing with it. And it does make me very, very happy. These are the backs. So pretty. So yeah, this is the Witchy Magic Tarot. Prompt number 9, a great guidebook. I'm gonna give that one to the Cosmic Wisdom Tarot. This is by Ethany, and I got it last year. I've been using it this year on my monthly envelopes. I do I do have very thick envelopes with a shitload of cards from many decks, but this is the only tarot deck that I'm using on my monthly envelopes. So I've been reading from it every single month. I don't know if you can see here, but there are different colors on the sides, and that is because all the suits are color coded. So you have the ones that are orange, the pentacles are green, the swords are purple, the cups are blue, and the majors are these parchment sort of cream color. You have the title on the top, then a brief description of the meaning of the card. Then you have upright meanings, all separated into almost bullet points, which is cool. And just in case you are trying to do a yes or no type of reading, you have here if it means yes or no if you pull out that card. You have the same for the reverse, and then on the other side, you have an image of the card and all the different graphic elements explained in here. Why are they there? So in the case of the chariot here, you have the lasso representing building energy and finding control. The crescent moon represents, again, building energy and gaining experience. You have a ranch in the background that represents moving beyond the safety of home. The chariot is leaving it behind. And freedom. You have horses that represent opposing forces and strong energy. White roses that represent the flower of the zodiac Cancer. The chariot is the corresponding card to Cancer, and they represent innocence. And the charioteer, that is taming energy, and they have drive. So this has been a very unusual but very insightful guidebook to work with. Um, it has everything that you could want from a guidebook. Um, it's very approachable. It's just really nice, and it has the same type and amount of information for every single card in the deck. It's not just the majors, all the minors, every single card on the deck has the exact same distribution and information. It's just marvelous. And it is really, really fun to work with it. And it's also a very beautiful deck. So, yeah, this is the Cosmic Wisdom Tarot by Ethany. Then, prompt number 10. What deck do you want by the end of the year or are still waiting on? And I don't think that I have kept up with most of the things that may come at the end of the year, but there is one that I'm waiting on right now, and it is the Agatha All Along, which is kind of based on the deck that they used on the series. I loved the series, and my god, I think it's by far one of the best ones that Marvel has ever done, and I loved everything about it. Of course, my favorite character was Lilia, and her episode is by far the best of the series. If you know, you know. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but it was a great, great show altogether. And even though the deck and its aesthetic, the art, and everything is not exactly uh, my typical style, it doesn't blow me away. It's kind of a take on the RWS, but with images and things that relate to the characters of the series. It's made by Inside Editions. There aren't many images out there on the internet right now, so given their history, I'm a little worried that it's going to be a very pippish deck. I hope it won't. They have done really good ones as of late. The Wizard of Oz, the Buffy Tarot, that they have done recent ones that are fully illustrated, and I have hopes that this one will follow suit. But I still had to get it because I just love the show. I did pre order it on the Wellness Emporium, and it's supposed to ship this month of July. And well, I'll keep you updated, but I'm eagerly waiting for it. I'm eagerly waiting for it. So, yep, that it's going to be Agatha all along. Prompt number 11. What deck hasn't been used yet or has barely, but you want to work with this year? So, I'm gonna say it's the Dreamkeeper's Tarot. This is not new. It's by US Games and it's been out there for a few years. The creator is Liz Houston. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But it is very new in my collection. I only got it this year. Found a gorgeous used copy and I etched it in these grayish blue that I think matches the bags really nicely. But I really love the art on the Tarot of Mystical Moments, and this one is a bit similar, except that it has a bit of a creepier aesthetic. Can you say that? Um, I'm not sure exactly how to describe it, but it is a little bit eerie. However, I do really like it, and even though creepy is usually not my thing, I think that this might be a deck that I can work with, even though it has cards like these. But I'm sure that I'm still going to enjoy it very much. And I'm thinking I'm going to use it for Scorpio season. We'll see about that. But for now, this is the deck that I have not yet really used, but I want to work with this year. It's the Dreamkeeper's Tarot. Oops. Okay. Prompt number 12. A favorite video you've made or seen? Um, a favorite video I've made, I think it's going to be the Show Us Your Decks tag by the lovely angel at Feeding My Soul 1212. It was the very first VR that I ever made. And I have to say that I had a lot of fun doing it. It was a great deal of fun to put it together, to think about all of the decks, and it's just really cool to just sit here and talk to all of you about the things that I love, or, you know, it's just nice. I always enjoyed watching all the tags and all the things, but it is just as fun, if not even more fun, to actually make them. So I'm gonna have to say that the Show Us Your Decks tag has to be my favorite this year. Both all the entries by all the wonderful people that I have seen and also making my own. That's gonna be. Okay. And the last one is pull a card for your next 6 months or pick a card whose energy you want to bring into the next 6 months. Ooh. Okay. Let's use the You Are Here oracle. If I want to bring the energy of any card for the next 6 months, I think it's going to be the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, I'm gonna want to bring all the Nine of Pentacles into my life. But let's see what the cards have to say. And that way I can show you a little bit of this oracle as well. So, what can I expect for the next 6 months? See, I can be a very messy shuffler sometimes. All right. So we have crystal waterfalls. Clear your mind and cleanse your soul. Healing, cleansing, recharging. That's beautiful. That is rather beautiful. Page 16. Crystal waterfalls. The beautiful Crystal Waterfalls is known to be a magical and powerful spot among visitors. Take a dip in its clear, healing waters and recharge your energy under the everlasting moonlight. Although Crystal Waterfalls is a gorgeous and serene location, the healing that takes place here is difficult and sometimes exhausting. Oh boy. Healing is messy, but allow yourself to go through this process of purging old energy that no longer serves you. Show up for yourself without any judgment during your time at Crystal Waterfalls. That's very nice. FAQs, tips about your visit. Describe a situation where the unhealed version of yourself responded. How would the healed version of you respond now? And I create the space for myself to heal. How cool is that? See, that's something else that this guidebook gives you, a journal prompt and an affirmation. And it's just really, really nice. Okay, so there is healing that will happen for me over the next 6 months, and that sounds nice, even though it probably won't be pretty or easy, but it's always necessary. That's what we all have to do that work. So, yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed watching all of my little prompts and my choices. Let me know what you would have chosen for any of these categories in the comments if you'd like, and please like and subscribe to help me grow my channel. I am opening a second channel to do readings for other people from Pick a Pile and other different kinds of readings. I'm gonna start using these decks, all of my collection, to read for others. So if you like to receive guidance from other people from time to time, please consider like and subscribing over there as well. So thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.